I am Assistant Professor Hemant Kumar Bhosle, Department of Civil Engineering from Dr. T.Y. Patil College of Engineering and Technology, Kolhapur. Geologic investigations commonly conducted in the agencies focus on site selection and designing engineering practices, ranging from projects such as tunnels, dams, bridges, docks, harbors, aqueducts, roads, highways, skyscrapers, flyovers, industrial sheds, chimneys, railway lines, airways, runways, watershed structure, to farm ponds and animal waste storage or treatment structures. Additionally, geologists investigate landslide and their potential to occur, structural failures or deficiencies in practices already built, and participated in stream restoration planning, designing, and implementation. With respect to that, today we are going to focus on the tunnel. Tunnel may be defined as underground route or passage driven through the ground without disturbing the overlying soil or rock cover. The first tunnel was constructed by Egyptians and Babylonians about 4000 years ago. It was built to connect two buildings in Babylon. The length, width, and height of this tunnel were 910 meters, 360 centimeters, 450 centimeters respectively. In India, today India's longest tunnel is Pir Panjal, which is about 11 kilometers long railway tunnel. This tunnel passes through the Pir Panjal mountain ranges between Kazigowda and Baramulla in the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. Tunnels are driven for a variety of purposes. For that, the chief cases or classes of tunnels are tunnel passing through natural obstacle, it is called natural tunnel. Tunnel passing through artificial obstacle, it is called artificial tunnels. Other types based on utility are traffic tunnel, water supply tunnel, hydropower tunnel, and electricity line supply tunnel. For that, in tunneling, the engineers has to work inside the crust of the earth, and therefore he must have complete knowledge of that part of the crust in which he has to work for more efficient work. Okay, for that, geological investigations are very important in tunneling project. As a matter of practice, the desired geological details for a tunnel projects are obtained in 3 stages using specific method in each stage. These stages are preliminary survey conducted well before the actual planning of the project, detailed survey which are conducted almost simultaneously with planning, and concurrent explorations which are undertaken during the construction. With respect to that, detailed investigations are undertaken. It includes purpose of site investigation, method of preliminary geological investigation, requirement for detailed geological investigation, geological factors affecting on the alignment of the tunnel, rock formation, type, landform, features and its characters, geomorphological, geological mapping and surveying. With respect to modern tools, we can say that remote sensing, aerial photographs or GIS method we can use. Indirect or non-destructive surveys are geophysical surveys, and direct survey or exploratory excavation, that is underground excavation or exploration, boreholes, and groundwater surveying, structural features and their use during alignment of the tunnel, and treatment after the tunneling. These are the different types of tunnels. You can see is the circular tunnel, horseshoe and vertical wall arc shape. These are some terminologies of tunnel. Next point, there is the tunnel lining. Lining is cover of plain or reinforced concrete provided to support the roof load and to prevent the seepage of large volume of water into the tunnel. In hard, massive and unfractured rocks, the tunnels may be constructed without lining. In weak, thinly bedded and fractured rocks, lining has to be given. It also gives a finishing touch to the tunnel cross section. Most common material used as lining are stones, bricks, cement concrete, rubber and precast pipes. Now we discuss about the difficulties during tunneling. Difficulties most commonly meet with in tunneling, such as roof collapse, caving in caving in of sides, etc., rise out of the physical properties and structure of the rocks. Therefore, an accurate knowledge of the geological conditions obtaining along the alignment is necessary to enable engineers to choose proper design and construction method and to anticipate the difficulties likely to be met with. Now, what are the difficulties came during tunneling? That is, first is the overbreak. During the excavation work, some rock outside the desired perimeter of the tunnel is removed. The rock excavated beyond the required cross section of the tunnel is known as overbreak. For that, we have to do the lining of proper thickness may be placed. The chief factors causing overbreaks are presence of hard and tough rocks, presence of closely spaced joints and fractures, presence of thinly bedded rocks, delay in placing roof support. Next difficulty is the seepage of groundwater. Groundwater is the most troublesome factor in tunneling because not only does it create difficulties of its own but also aggravates other difficulties such as rock slip, rock falls, etc. Since the occurrence of groundwater is largely controlled by nature of the rock and geological structure of that region, the groundwater study of the region is essential and is always carried out before tunneling operating start. Fragmented rock resulting by crushing and fracturing along fault zone. Such zones and shear zones will troublesome or provides excellent passage for groundwater movement. The fragmented rock will be decomposed because of the constant presence of water and will be further weakened. Excavation will thus be difficult because of roof fall, side slip and leakage of groundwater. So engineers have to be forward about its presence and therefore detailed groundwater studies must form an essential part of geological investigation for all tunnels, particularly those in low-lying areas or areas of heavy precipitation. Next is the roof fall. The roof of the tunnel stands unsupported for a certain length of time which is called as bridge action time or bridge action period of stand-up time. The bridging capacity of the rock primarily depends upon magnitude of shearing and tensile stress within the unsupported rock masses. If the bridging capacity is less, the rock will start falling down during tunneling and will need support immediately after excavation. The bridging capacity is also reduced by the presence of geological features like joints and also by subsurface waters. Next is the side collapse. In water tunnels, due to movement or speed of water, carving action is going. So carving action going to start, and if the side of the tunnels are soft, irregular, then there may be a chances of collapse of sides of tunnel will start. So the lining may be essential. In road and railway tunnels also need to have tunneling lining after tunneling. Next is the influence of geological condition on tunneling. That is the first point is the swelling rock. If tunnel is to be constructed through swelling rocks, it will require special treatment. Unconsolidated, tough and unhardened, such rocks when exposed absorb moisture and swell. In such cases, very strong support should be used. The swelling rock should also be protected from wetting to the greatest possible degree. Now, if the tunnel is in horizontal strata, if the horizontal strata, if tunnel is excavated, in first figure you can see here, this is the safe site for the tunnel excavation, because tunnel is moving only in one strata or excavated in from only one strata, but this image or this site is not suitable, unsafe at top because of thin bedding plane. There may be chances of collapse of roof or excess excavation may be created. Next, tunnel in inclined strata. In inclined rock beds, when a tunnel is driven parallel to the strike direction, there is a tendency in the rock to fall into the tunnel from the side where the beds dip into the tunnel. This is particularly the case if the hard and soft rocks such as sandstone and shales are interbedded. When a tunnel is made across the strike of rock, it will traverse bed of different rocks. In such cases, there will be a downward pressure from the roof. Water troubles are likely to be encountered where porous beds are formed. Here you can see clear picture. Next, tunnel is faulted zone. Faults are commonly found associated with the zone of highly crushed rock or clay gauge. The crushing rocks being highly permeable allow groundwater to seep into the tunnel. Besides these, they also form unsuitable roof rock. The clay gauge is a very fine and soft material. On wetting, it comes plastic and caves into the tunnel. Faults, therefore, are a source of major trouble in tunneling. It is always better to deviate the tunnel alignment. Here you can see the faulting in tunneling, or tunnel is driven from the faulted strata, which is not suitable because the possibility of sliding of the area or seepage of the water into the tunnel and reduces the life of the tunnel or the collapsing of the roof of the tunnel. Next is the tunnel in folded strata. In tunnels that are driven through synclinal folds, the joint blocks from interval keystone in the arch and causes rockfall. In case the rocks happen to be water bearing, the water flow into the tunnel and causes great difficulties. In tunnels that cuts through an anticline, the danger from sudden rockfall is less because the joint blocks will be in the shape of normal keystone and therefore they are unlikely to fall into the tunnel. This figure. If the water bearing strata are met with, the water trouble will be less because in anticlinal the water flows away from it. The water will be moved away from it. In this, water will move into the tunnel. Here also water will be outside the tunnel. In this figure, it is across the axis. These sites are not suitable. This site is also not suitable for the construction because variety of rocks are encountered during the tunneling or water is coming into the tunnel. Thank you.